to order. Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's right.
Okay. All right. With that, we'll call the meeting to order, and we'll just do a quick roll call.
Dennis Sneeden is not here. Matt McKenzie.
Here?
Grady Bonzel.
Present, but on the phone.
Present but on the phone is what, if it didn't come through.
We good? Okay. All right, very good. Any public comment?
No.
Very good. So get to our first agenda item, and the variance request amendment from Jacob Lease at 418 Main Street.
Members of the Planning Commission, we had a previous request in June from the applicant regarding 418 Main Street. The variance request was for height and the size of the structure that the applicant was building. However, the location of the garage on the lot was discussed, but not part of the original decision. So when it came to the building permits, and because of the location of the structure on the lot, the applicant was advised that we would have to ask him to submit for an amendment to the original variance request. And that's what's before you tonight. And the applicant is here tonight, Jacob Lees. Jacob, did you want to say anything regarding your application, regarding the location of the garage on the lot itself?
I would just say, if you allow me to move it closer into here. So if you guys were to allow me to build it closer to the street, instead of, I think it was the 32 feet off of the street was the original requirement, it would allow me to park equipment, vehicles, things like that on the actual property instead of clustering the roadway and impeding traffic, which would be a big deal for me. Just keeping the aesthetic of the property much cleaner and easier for everybody to navigate. That's all I got.
And the application or the amendment, the request to amend the variance request, and it's included in your packet. It's would allow it to be closer to the curb of 5th Street. 40 feet from the center line of 5th Street is 18 feet past the curb. So that's actually the right-of-way. So the right-of-way actually starts in the applicant's yard at that location. So it's, a lot of people may think it starts at the curb, but it's actually behind the curb, 18 whole feet. So to have it even an additional distance, and I'm forgetting, it was at least, and it was also to match the buildings on that direction on that side of the street. But I think it was 14 feet, wasn't it, behind the right-of-way, Joe? So that was 32 feet from the curb, was where the start of the building, if it was, no variance was approved for it. So that's why we asked and we talked with the city attorney, and the city attorney stated that this was the proper procedure for an amendment to the original variance request. And the board did approve the variance request, and you know, there are several findings at the Board of Zoning Appeals, which is what you're acting at as tonight, to approve the variance request, saying that it's unique. It doesn't affect the adjacent properties. There is a hardship for the property owner. It's in the public interest. It's in the spirit and intent of the zoning regulations, and there's the minimum variance required. And that's what happened at the previous application. The board found in favor of all those regarding the height and size of the building. The question before the board is just the location of the building on the lot. So he could be 3 feet from the alley right away and 18 feet from the curb line, which is basically very close to the edge of the right of way at the location.
That was gonna be my number one question. Does the building get in the right of way, or is it still out of the right of way?
It's still out of the right of way.
Yeah, but the physical structure is not in the right of way.
Correct.
Okay.
Does that bring up any other questions or concerns?
And no feedback from neighbors about this?
And we've sent out now, since we didn't have a quorum last month, we've sent out notices twice to all neighbors within so many 100 feet. I wish I knew that right off the top of my
Yeah.
head, but I don't. But
300?
300 feet, which still ends up to be about 20 property owners.
Yeah.
That we send it to. And we haven't had a phone call or someone come in, even during the week before the meeting. We haven't had any contact from any of the neighbors. So I think we had one question originally when the first, just questioning why it was sent out.
Yeah.
That was about it. But that was over a month ago for the original one.
Yeah, I have a question, on the, since it's not gonna impede the right of way, that was one question I have. The other one was, is, like the utilities or anything like that gonna be impacted as far as, by moving, that being out further? Like gas lines or, electricity or anything like that?
So there is an existing gas line underneath where the shop is going to be placed, but regardless of whether you approve this tonight, I will have to move that gas line. Depending on where I put it is all dependent on this meeting, whether it's approved or not, because that will dictate where my furnace goes in for the heat in the shop.
But it just affects your service line, correct? It doesn't
Correct.
affect the main line at all?
Oh, no, as far as main lines, we don't have anything like that, because we had the property flagged, and it was just our personal gas line in the way.
Did you hear all that, Grady?
Yep, absolutely, yep, that's good,
Yep.
thank you.
I don't know that I have any other questions. I think it's straightforward for me. Grady, anything else?
No other questions for me, that's pretty straightforward for me too as well.
Okay. Well, I think with that, we should probably move on, or move into the, do we need to approve each of these pieces?
You just have to have findings for each,
Okay,
and that'll become part of the record for it, that's all.
okay. Well, I guess my comment on those pieces, I agree it's pretty unique. So, I think it fits that. Doesn't appear there's any issues with the adjacent properties. I'm glad to hear that the neighbors don't oppose. And as I drove by and looked at things, sight lines and all that seem like it's probably not that noticeable, honestly.
No.
So,
Yep. I agree.
hardship, Jacob, I appreciate you wanting to keep equipment off the streets and tucked in behind and all that. I mean, that's a good thing. So I realize moving this building back on you would probably mean that trucks and stuff might need to be on the street. So that's probably not ideal. So I do see the hardship there. And the rest of those, and public interest, spirit and intent, minimum variance, I think all those have been met in your comments before. So Grady, any comments on any of those pieces?
No, I agree with what you said 100% there, so no problem there.
And then if you could have a motion to either approve the amendment to the original variance request or to disapprove.
Sure. So I move to approve the amendment of the approved variance for the location of the new accessory building at 418 Main Street to be 18 feet from the curb line on the south edge of the property and 3 feet from the alley right of way.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay. So moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.
Opposed, say nay. The motion carries.
That's all we need regarding that item.
Okay. So Grady, if you want to hang on for a minute, maybe we can just clear the last couple things on here. I noticed the next agenda item is a storage unit expansion at 509 Caldwell. Don't see the owner here tonight, so I don't know if there are further comments or further discussion, but it looks like, at least what I saw in the packet with the 5 new units sitting on existing foundation and what they want to do, looks like it could be a nice improvement to maybe a little bit of a spot that doesn't look so good right now. So,
Yeah, this is, and Jeff can probably go over it better than I can, but these are the storage units just north of Hoover's. And they're just adding, right in the picture here, and Grady, I'm sure you can see it right now, but.
squid.
Well, I didn't have my email up. I have my email.
Oh, good.
Up, so I am looking at the draft right now, yeah.
Okay.
And they're just making an L-shaped building, basically, correct?
Yep, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yep, on the Caldwell side, the doors will face to the east, and he's wanting to connect the two buildings where that garage door is right there. That will disappear, and he's gonna put up roll-up doors. So that's what his initial plans were, and adding a 50-foot to the south on the existing concrete pad there.
Okay.
There was a building there, so there are, of course, footings underneath there and so forth to support anything.
Excuse me. So the west side or the street side will just be essentially metal and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just a metal building. And there's plenty of view from the corner, parking, so it's not gonna impede any of the sight, with the traffic or any pedestrians walking.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question was, are the doors gonna be facing, I guess, be to the east?
Yes.
And not on the roadside, right? Not on the roadside.
Correct, to the east, to the alley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And there'll still remain the one entrance into the lot. And that entrance will not be affected by this additional addition to the building. And it did check with the city utilities and the two utilities on site, and there doesn't seem to be any conflicts with any of the utilities. And he's not gonna have any lighting inside.
No electric or water.
Structure.
Just a structure, yeah.
And was included in your packets Jeff's review according to the site plan checklist of different information regarding it. And there's not too much more regarding it.
There were several no's on that, of course, because didn't really need a stamped engineer to design the plan since it's just gonna be, storage unit addition, so.
Yeah. Okay. Looks like it ought to be a nice improvement to that spot.
Yeah, he was originally, beginning of the year, he was wanting to put them on the other side, the alley and the doors facing.
I like this better.
Yeah, he changed his mind.
Yeah.
Been working with this gentleman since about January on this, so off and on.
So is there
Do
any,
we know if there's no, I'm sorry, do we know if there's gonna be any more expansion down the future, or is this
He's
pretty
not,
much where he's gonna be, or?
he's not planning on it, no. No, he just wanted to, instead of tearing out that concrete, go ahead and build on it.
so is there any action we need to take or just information?
Mostly information, unless you guys disapprove, because of the site, or you don't want some plans. It's a kind of a prefab building he's ordering, so.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to see more improvement there, so I think it's good. Grady, anything else on that one?
No, yeah, I think it's pretty clear to me too. I think it'd be a good change, good improvement. Well,
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, you can tell the more I talk, the more I have to cough. So, moving on to staff reports, I do not have a report tonight.
And I don't have anything. Oh, the one thing I wanted to report is that the city commission did appoint another member to the planning commission last night, Grady. So we will have a fourth member of the commission at our next meeting, hopefully. And hopefully we
yeah,
haven't
great.
lost any.
There. Good news. That's good news there.
His name is Wally Hanson.
Oh.
And he served on the planning commission in the 1990s. So he is willing to serve again, and the city commission appointed him last night. So
Good.
we didn't want
Yeah.
to with this being a previous item or already set up, didn't want to take it away from him tonight, but he will be participating in the future. That's about the only thing to report. Do you have anything else, Jim?
No, just looking at the next meeting, so.
Okay. Grady, did you have anything to report?
Nothing to report, no.
Okay. Next agenda item was the minutes, so several meetings worth of minutes we probably have not really discussed. I don't think I have any changes to anything that I looked through.
Okay.
Grady, did you see anything in previous minutes that you disagreed with?
No, everything looked accurate, enough to say there.
Okay. You're more than welcome to make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for, I could say 9/20/22 and 10/11/2022. As written.
And way back on July 12th as well.
Okay, and July 12th. Sorry, missed that one.
All right, I'll second that. So all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, motion carries. Okay.
That's it.
All right, with that, I move we adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Grady.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. That'd help. We have to keep moving forward. It'd be nice to have another addition to this team there too, so that's good.
All right, enjoy your vacation, sir.
Okay, we'll do. You guys have a good Christmas, have a Merry Christmas, and good holidays. Talk to you later.
All right, bye, Grady.
Bye.